Good morning, welcome to Morning Maths, day 43. I just wanted to mention that if you like the special versions, I haven't been able to do one of those for a while, but maybe you didn't watch day 36 as there was no school on that day. So if you like athletics or sports or athletics, you might want to have a look at day 36 if you didn't do that one yet. But anyway, I'm going to get moving with day 43. Let's get started with question 1. 7 times 100. 7 times 100. It's a bit like 7 times 1 with 2 zeros on the end. 7 times 1 is 7, 2 zeros to place 700. Or you should know your 100 times table. You count up to 7 fingers. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700. Question 2 is addition. 548 plus 266. 548 plus 266. 8 plus 6 is 4, carried a 1. 4 and 6 is 10, plus 1 is 11. 5 plus 2 is 7, plus 1 is 8. 814. Remember, plus makes things bigger. Pause if you need to copy. Question 3. Hopefully you've learned over the last few days that less than means minus, but you've also learned that the biggest number has to go on the top in a minus. 354 is bigger than 87. So keep a close eye on that. Make sure you're putting the biggest number on the top when you're doing minus. Less than means minus. 4 take away 7 we can't do. Let me do this. 14 take away 7 is 7. 4 take away 8, we can't do that either. 300 goes down to 200. 100 comes over here to make 14 tens. 14 take away 8 is 6. Really, it's 140 take away 80, which is 60. The 6 is in the tens column, isn't it? And finally, we just have the 2 in the hundreds column. Very important, 2, which means 200. It's worth 200. And we get 267. Question 4. In year 4, you're supposed to learn your 25 times table, because 25 is a very common number that comes up a lot. But in year 3, you might not know that yet. You don't have to know that yet. So I'm going to do 25 times 3 with the 2 methods I've been doing lately. I don't think I'll colour code it today. You've seen this a few times. I'm going to get the 2 tens, 2t, otherwise known as 20, times that by 3. I'm going to get the 5 units times that by 3. 20 times 3 is like 2 times 3, which is 6, with a 0 to place, 60. 5 times 3 is 5, 10, 15. Those are the 2 parts of the question, 20 times 3 and 5 times 3. You add up the 2 answers and you get 5 and 7, 75. I'm going to use the grid method and see if I get 75 as well. As long as you can do one of these methods, that's pretty good for year 5. That's what we need. But you can do one of these methods, but they're so similar. If you can do one, you can probably do both of these methods. 3 times 2, 6. Place 1, 0. 3 times 5, 15. You can see how we've got 60 and 15, just like we did in the top method, which is above that line. 60 and 15, 60 and 15. You add them up at the end. 60 and 15 means 60 plus 15, because and means plus usually in maths. 75 is definitely correct. I've done it with 2 methods, and I've got 75. We're on question 5. Question 5 now. Division, 41 divided by 4. If I do this with singing, I'll count in 4s. I'll count on my fingers. I mustn't go past 41. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24 and 28, 32, 36 and 40, 44. Oh dear. I said I mustn't go past 41 and I went to 44. So that doesn't work. So I'll start again. Remember, I mustn't go past 41. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24 and 28, 32, 36 and 40. I'm going to stop there and I got 10. 41 divided by 40. Sorry, 41 divided by 4. I sang up to 40 and I got 10. But I only sang up to 40, didn't I? I couldn't sing any more of my 4s or I would have gone past 41. But I only sang up to 40 and that's 41. So that little 1 is like a little extra. It's a remainder and we say remainder 1. Your teachers have probably showed you this. 41 divided by 4 is 10, remainder 1. So if you had 41 children, you shared them out into groups of 4, there would be 10 children in each group and 1 remainder. Actually going to do that, I think, in little dots. If you don't need to see this, you can always fast forward, but I think I like to show this. I'm going to get 41. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41. Imagine that was 41 children. It could be a PE lesson. I'm going to split 41 children up into groups of 4. So let's get some groups of 4. There's a group of 4, isn't it? Let's get another group of 4. It would be like your PE teacher saying, everyone get into 4s, everyone get into 4s. Well, that is a 4. But those two children really wanted to be together, didn't they? Get those into 4s. Oh, they can't fit in there. They have to go here. These two, they like each other. They move around together, don't they? That's 5. That's not going to work. Well, that's not going to work. Get that one in there because we have to have groups of 4. Groups of 4. That's a nice little group of 4, isn't it? There. Move those away. I'm trying to keep them separate from each other, these groups. The last group, one poor child is left over. They don't fit into a group, okay? So we shared 41 into groups of 4. How many groups did we get? Let's count them to make sure. I'm sure you know it's going to be 10, but we'll check. Get my pen smaller again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 groups of 4. That's why we wrote 10. Remainder 1. 1 remaining. If it was PE, you know what your teacher would do. They'd say, well, you can just have a group of 5, okay? But in maths, we would say it's 10, remainder 1. Right. Let's quickly do that with the bus stop method as well, because I've been showing you the bus stop method later. This is going to be a lot quicker. But I think I can squeeze it in there. Strange place to do it, isn't it? 41 divided by 4. How many 4s in 4? 1. How many 4s in 1? 0. But this 1 I didn't use, so it's remainder 1. 10 remainder 1 is definitely the answer. Year 5 might know how to get a decimal answer for this, but we won't worry about that in Year 3. Let's go on to question 6. What are we doing here? 98 times 100. 98 times 100. You can get 98 and move it 2 places bigger. So the 9 goes 1. Would help if I put them where there's some squares, wouldn't it? 98 goes 1, 2 places bigger. 8 goes 1, 2 places bigger. Place zeros. 9,800. Or some of you will just be doing 98 times 1 is 98, and you place the 2 zeros on the end. Still 9,800. Question 7. Try and get the pen at a perfect size. Question 7, I said, didn't I? Yep. 8,928. 8,928. We're going to take away 672. 8,928. Take away 672. That is 6. 2 take away 7 we can't do. Get some help from that 900. Goes down to 800. 12 tens take away 7 tens. 12 take away 7 is 5. 12 tens take away 7 tens is 5 tens, because this is all the tens column. 800 take away 600 is 200, and 8,000's there. So maybe that should have got smaller than that. 8,928 minus 672. Okay, it's still 8,000 and something. 8,256. Because it was quite big in the hundreds column, wasn't it? It had a 9 at the start. And we're on question 8. Share £8 between 5. Now, I think it's the first time I've shown you for anything like this. This is division. Share is division. 8 divided by 5. 8 divided by 5. Now, the way Year 3 would do it, you would say, how many 5's in 8? 5 is just 1, but there's 3 left over, so 1 remainder 3. But as you're at the end of Year 4 and you're starting to work with decimals, especially in money, and this is money, That's not a very good answer for money, 1 remainder 3. That doesn't really make any sense. So this is how you can share 8 between 5. It's £8. So instead of writing 8, you write £8. 8.00. You know that's £8, don't you? 8.00. This is a wonderful, wonderful trick in maths. If you've got to do 8 divided by 5, and you want a nice decimal answer, which is often more accurate than a remainder answer, depends what you want though, you can do 8.00 because that's the same as 8. £8 and no pence is just the same as £8, isn't it? So it's the same. You line up the point like we have been doing the last few days. How many 5s in 8? 1. Remainder 3 goes here instead of on the end. How many 5s in 30? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 is 6. How many 5s in 0 is 0. It's £1.60. So if you know this little trick that the 8 can become 8.00, then you can get an accurate decimal answer when you divide money. Maybe you didn't know that before. Maybe you did. Question 9. We'll do some more of those in future days. Question 9. 573 lots of 9. I just seem to remember yesterday I promised you I'd do the grid method, and I think what I do is I end up doing the standard method year 4s and then forgetting to do the grid method for you after. Am I going to do that today? I hope not. I'll try and remember that today. 9 times 3 is 27. 9 times 6, 63, plus 2, 65. 9 times 5, 45, plus 6, 51. Right, as my check, I'll do the grid method. Because I'm sure some of you prefer that. I don't really know which one I prefer. I don't really mind, to be honest, on multiplication. See if we get the same answer that we did on standard method. That's called standard column method. Standard traditional method, maybe you might say. 9 times 5 is 45, place 2 zeros. 9 times 7, 63, place a 0. 9 times 3, 27. If I add these up, which I'm going to, the blue answers, it should come to the same. If it doesn't, I'll be doing it again to see what the answer is, because it will be wrong. 7, 5, 5157, that's what I got before. Okay, 5,157. I remembered the grid method today. I'll try and do both methods in year 4. Question 10. Money. Money has decimal points in it. You line up the decimal point. It's plus, so it doesn't matter which number goes at the top. But what does matter is that you line up the decimal point. That's why I often just get it in at the start. Get it done all the way down. Some children forget it in the answer. If you put it in the start, you won't forget it in the answer. If you forget that decimal point in the answer, you do all the work and then you get no points if it's a test because you didn't put a decimal point in. So make sure you do. 351.97. £351.97 is how we'd say if it was money. £351.97. Time for year 5. Start to get a little bit faster. Now we're in year 5. 42 divided by 10. 42 divided by 10 makes things smaller. 1 place smaller. There's no decimal point on a number. If there's no decimal point on a number, where does it go? At the end. There it goes. 1 place smaller. The 4 goes 1 place smaller. The 2 goes 1 place smaller. 4.2. It's a bit messy, but 4.2. 42 gets smaller when you divide it by 10. It's 4.2. Question 12, long multiplication. Practice will make you get more accurate at this. There's so many mistakes that can be made in long multiplication. Once you've got accurate, then try to get faster. But being accurate's the main thing. Let's place this 0 so I don't forget. 3 times 2, 6. 3 times 6, 18. 3 times 8, 24, plus 1, 25. 3 times 9, 27, plus 2, 29. Cross those out. Crossed out because I've done that. 2 times 2, 4. 2 times 6, 12. 2 times 8, 16, plus 1, 17. 2 times 9, 18, plus 1, 19. Don't need those. I'm just adding up my 2 answers here. 226,826. 226,826. I'm going to peep at the answer for number 12. 226,826. That's what it is. Let's go to question 13. This is a big minus. biggest number at the top. And we're going to take away 646346. 6,400. Am I saying that right? 6,346. Oh, so much borrowing and taking on this question. 0 take away 6 is not 0, and it's not 6. You have to borrow all the way across. But it's year 5, so you probably know how this works. All these 10s that go down to 9s, all these 10s that go down to 9s. Just make sure the last one stays as a 10. It doesn't go down to a 9. 10 take away 6 is 4. 9 take away 4. 9 take away 3. 9 take away 6. Don't forget that massive one, which is worth 1/10,000. It's in the 10,000s column. Quick chance to remind ourselves of the 10,000s column. 13,654. Commas go 3 from the end if you use them. If you don't know how to use commas, leave them out, because you don't have to put them in. If you put them in, make sure they're right. 13,654, and we're on... Let's do a number bond check. There's a number bond check on this, isn't there? 54 and 46 is a number bond to 100. That's good. Question 14. Divided by 30 again, like we did yesterday. I believe I changed the first number though. 8,460 divided by 30. I had my 30 times table written yesterday, but it's not here anymore, so I'll get it again with my 3s. And I'll turn my 3s into my 30s. This is a nice little skill if you've got it. Turning your 3s into a 30 times table. Make sure zeros look like zeros, not 6s, like your teachers probably tell you when you're in school. Okay, how many 30s in 8? Definitely 30 is too big to fit into 8. How many 30s in 84? 1, 2. We've only got 84 though, not 90, so 2. I counted up to 60, but that says 84. The remainder is 84 take away 60, which is 24, isn't it? 24. 246. You get big numbers in these 2-digit divisions a lot of the time. 246. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But no more. 8. We wanted 246. We counted up to 240. Just 6 was not there. So the remainder is 6, and that's lovely because that's on the list. 1, 2. 282 fits exactly, so I'm happy with that. And we're on question 15. Just a little slightly tricky money question again. The trick is on this number 15 to know how to line up the 22p. 22p is no pounds and 22 pence. My plus was a bit high, wasn't it? Should be down the bottom. 289, 350 and 22 pence. Okay. 13, 14, 15, 16 and 661 pounds, yeah? Nope. £6.61. Decimal point lines up all the way down. £6.61. That makes sense. If you get something like £28 or something, you've done it wrong because you've put the 22p as pounds when it has to go in the pence area. Remember, the pence area is after the decimal point. Year 6. Right, let's get going nice and quick now. 16. Quick work for year 6. But keep your accuracy. That's the most important thing. 56 divided by 100. No decimal point. I'll put one on the end. Everything gets 1, 2 places smaller. 0.56, otherwise known as 0.56. Question 17. Find a quarter of something. You can divide it by 4 on the bus stop to find a quarter of a big old number like this. You might be able to do this in your heads. I think this is going to be 120,000, isn't it? Because it's like 48 divided by 4, which is 12. With all these zeros, it's 120,000. Question 18, long multiplication, so we better get going. Long multiplication, 394 times 23. 3 times everything first. 3 times 4, 12. 3 times 9, 27. Plus 1, 28. 3 times 3, 9. Plus 2, 11. Cross out that one. Place a 0. 2 times 4, 8. 2 times 9, 18. 2 times 3, 6. Plus 1, 7. Add up your 2 lines. Don't accidentally add these little ones. And I think we get 9,062. Quite small actually, but it was only 3 in the hundreds column and a 2 in the tens column. This is nearly 400, so it's roughly 400 times 20, roughly 400 times 20, yeah, roughly 8,000, so 9,062 makes sense. And we are on question 19, just a big addition. Copy the numbers carefully. I'm talking to myself as well as you, you know, when I say that. I know what I'm like. If I'm not careful, I won't copy the numbers correctly. So let's copy those right and let's add up. Oh, there's hardly any carrying. A little bit now. 61,887. And question 20. 7.2 is something more than 3.9. Well, to find this mystery, it's going to be a minus, so we're going to have to do. But we must make sure our answer makes sense and that a minus was the correct thing to do. So we'll check that at the end. I can't say clearly enough that you must, when you write something in one of these missing boxes, you must make sure it makes sense. 7.2 is 3 and a bit more than 3.9. Well, 7.2 is more than 3.9, so that makes sense. 3.3. Here come the answers. 3.3 was the last one. So pause here if you need to check your answers, and I'll see you next time for day 44 next.